The storm desk. Read the storm. Book the roofs. The market report just landed. Designer roofing demand is up in 2026, and every representative reads that as a green light to pitch the expensive shingle to everyone. So they do, and they discount their way back down by Friday. Here's what the report hides. Demand going up is not the same as demand showing up on the street you're knocking. By the end of this, you'll know how to read the demand map like an operator, which homes are in the designer market, what to lead with by region, and the claims line you can't cross. A driveway books a roof. A market average never does. First, define designer the way a buyer feels it. Designer means a heavier, multi-layer asphalt shingle built to read, like slate or cedar shake from the street. Real names: GF Grand Sequoia, Certainteed Grand Manor, Owens Corning Berkshire. Above it sits composite, a synthetic slate or shake from Da Vinci or Brava. Below it sits standard architectural, the everyday shingle most homes wear. So the designer sale is almost always a one-step-up sale, not a leap. A homeowner expecting standard is your candidate for the slate look line. Now the number that anchors the conversation. Designer asphalt runs roughly $250 to $400 per square in materials, where a square is 100 square feet of roof. A typical home runs 20 to 30 squares, so a $150 step up is a few thousand on the job. But the install difference is smaller than a homeowner assumes, because that heavier shingle goes on the same deck, same crew, as a standard roof. Big material story, small install story. That gap is the math that wins the upgrade. Here's what the demand report can't see. A rising market is an average across thousands of homes. It never tells you the house in front of you wants the upgrade. The real designer market is concentrated, not spread. It lives in a few buyer types, a few corridors, and on roofs near the end of their life. Pitching designer to a 10-year-old roof is the same mistake as knocking a swath after hail. The market says everyone's buying up. The street says start here. So read the 5 buyers, because each one buys designer for a different reason. The forever homeowner bought the house to keep it. That's your strongest, best tier candidate. Composite slate and metal fit. The resale buyer sells in 3 to 7 years and buys the look, not durability. Designer asphalt is plenty. The storm-exposed buyer wants protection first, look second. The curb appeal buyer cares how the house reads from the street. The budget buyer came in with a ceiling. Show all 3 tiers, then respect it. The wrong pitch on the wrong buyer is a 1-star review. Region rewrites the pitch before the buyer opens their mouth. In the Hail Belt, Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, Colorado, Nebraska lead with impact, not looks. A Class 4 roof, the top rating on the UL 2218 hail standard, is built from rubberized asphalt that flexes instead of shattering. Many carriers give a premium discount for one, published anywhere from 5 to 35% depending on carrier and state. So the pitch there is really an impact pitch with a better-looking shingle attached, lead with protection, close with appearance. Other markets move on different levers. On high wind and coastal belts, wind rating leads, and it assumes the required nailing pattern, so the install spec is part of the sale. Brava composite tile carries a wind rating up to 188 miles per hour with standard nails. In the Sun Belt, the Department of Energy says a cool roof reflects more sunlight, with results depending on climate, so present that as climate dependent. In historic and HOA districts, clear the review board before you present. Now the core move, the one that lifts your average deal. Stop delivering one number. Deliver 3 options on one page. With a single price, the only decision is yes or no, and the only lever is to push it down. 3 price tiers, and the decision becomes which one. A few rules make the page work. Name a real product in every tier, not the word premium. Put the best at the top so the first number anchors high, and build the designer line to land as the natural middle. Then handle price without bleeding margin. When the buyer says it's more than they wanted to spend, the weak representative reaches for a discount. Don't. Reframe to the gap. The step from standard to designer is a few $1,000s, and over a roof with a 30 to 50-year warranty, that's a small number per month financed. But financing is regulated. Federal truth in lending rules make you disclose the rate and terms in writing, and home equity deals carry a 3-day right to cancel. Quote from the lender's disclosure, never a number you guessed. Designer roofs sell often after storms, so insurance walks into the room. Here's the line, and it is not subtle. You may document the roof's condition, give an estimated roof age range, and write an estimate that supports the homeowner's own claim. You may not handle, negotiate, fight, maximize, or settle that claim. The insurer decides coverage. The homeowner owns the claim, and the deductible is theirs to pay. States have prosecuted roofers for acting as unlicensed public adjusters. and never offer to waive or cover a deductible. That's fraud. Document, don't diagnose. Keep every product claim true, because a designer buyer will fact-check you on the maker's own site. The Federal Trade Commission's rule is plain. An advertising claim must be truthful and substantiated, so cite the published spec, not a rounded-up version. If the warranty is 50 years, say 50, and explain what's prorated. On the Class 4 discount, say it may qualify and send the homeowner to their own agent with the UL documentation. You cannot promise a specific discount. That's the carrier's call. Honesty closes more of these than a number you can't back up. Then protect the sale at color, because designer roofing is an appearance purchase, and that's where premium quietly falls apart. A color that looks rich on a sample chip can read flat across 2,000 square feet in the customer's light. So present full-size physical samples, never a brochure or a phone screen, viewed at the house against the actual brick and trim. Then get the choice in writing with the exact product and blend name. Slate gray is not a color. Grand Manor Colonial Slate is. Slow down here and you save the whole margin. Don't let the back half of the job kill the premium sale. A designer roof is a promise that the install matches the price. Heavier shingles and composite tiles have their own fastening patterns, and a crew that's only run standard architectural can get them wrong. So match your most experienced crew to designer jobs, or make sure the maker's install training happened. A botched ridge on a $45,000 roof is a lawsuit, not a callback. Photograph the finished job and register the enhanced warranty. Sell it like a luxury, install it like a luxury. Here's where RoofPredict fits, and where it doesn't. The designer market is concentrated, so the half the battle question is which driveways are worth the pitch. RoofPredict pairs an estimated roof age range with storm physics modeled per individual home, flagging which roofs are likely due in storm-exposed, higher-value areas where the upgrade lands. Your reps spend their time in front of people who can say yes. It does not inspect the roof, diagnose damage, or decide coverage. Roof age is a range for planning, not a date. The list points the truck. The kitchen table earns the sale. Close the loop. A demand report shows the market is moving up. It doesn't show which driveway is in that market. Buyer type plus region plus roof age decides that, so you target the homes actually due. Sell a choice, 3 named tiers on one page, not a single number to push down. Reframe price to the monthly gap, never a discount. Document conditions and let the insurer decide coverage. The rep who chases the average pitches everyone and closes few. You knock the driveways that are actually in the designer market.